Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance. And this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Treasure Travel. And here's her story. Munchausen syndrome by proxy seems to me to be the most severe form of maternal narcissistic abuse, although most of the medical literature does not seem to link these two syndromes. In, in MSP, Munchausen, a mother actually goes so far as to poison her own child to make them bedridden and hospitalized. The literature always explains this as attention-seeking behavior in which the needy mother wants to be at the hospital getting sympathy for having an ill child. Right. I mean, look, if you're looking for a medical journal to boil other things down to the brass tacks of narcissism, good luck in this society. Good luck. Good luck. They want to hide it. They want to hide it. They don't want you to understand. They don't want you to get down to brass tacks. Of course, it's just an extreme form of borderline personality disorder, of narcissism. I've talked about Munchausen a lot on this channel. I completely disagree with this hand-waving explanation. I understand that we can't use pure logic to try to explain crazy, but I believe these mothers would have displayed a pattern of faking their own illness to get medical attention if needed. Medical attention, if indeed attention was their primary motivation. In my opinion, their basic motivation is the same, albeit more extreme, as the motivation for all NPD mothers: control. Right, because they're, at the end of the day, they're sociopaths. They're sociopaths. It's about them all the time. They are true sociopaths. These are people, understand, these are people who would have been in mental institutions back before, they were all, most of the mental institutions were closed back in the 80s, but even before that. These were the people, these sociopaths were the ones in the mental institutions. It's why we're seeing such a high volume of societal narcissism. Narcissistic moms go to great lengths to quench the happiness and independence of their children. What better way to have emotional and physical control of one's child than to incapacitate with poison? Luckily, Munchausen's is rare because few mothers are so far on the narcissistic spectrum. Most narcissistic mothers are able to satisfy their need to control by poisoning their children's happiness with emotional and physical abuse rather than actually feeding them rat poison. Right, because these women are true sociopaths. It's not even it's where the personal pleasure out of torturing you isn't enough. It's not enough. They need the attention and the supply. So how do you do that? How do you torture your child and get pity for it? You fake medical conditions. You poison. And what does poisoning, what does it entail? Calculation, planning, thought, motive. Not the thoughts of somebody who can't control themselves. Every thought in Munchausen's, though disgusting, though murderous, are rational. Not rational in the sense it's rational to poison your own child. Rational in it makes sense of how to do it and how to conceal it and hide what you're actually doing. That's how you know they're not actually crazy. They're sociopaths. I don't think sociopath and crazy, I say they're two different things entirely. Crazy is something you can't control. Being a sociopath is something I believe you decide to be. These were the people who primarily occupied mental institutions. This is how they used to deal with them. These people that there was something wrong with them, something evil, off. They were controlled. Now, they weren't always locked up 24/7. They were inpatient, outpatient. But with the lack of mental health care, you set loose a whole society of sociopaths to just ferment and become more dangerous within society, and to learn from society and to calculate off society to further mask themselves, so then they can then control it and destroy it. That's the sociopath. That's the Munchausen mother. Never, ever, ever, ever to be pitied. Why? Because you think of the planning and calculation and thought that goes into something like this to make yourself into the victim, and what it takes to conceal it. Things crazy people just can't do. But sociopaths can. Both my parents are narcissists. Interestingly, the only time my parents were nice to me for an extended period of time was when I was diagnosed and undergoing treatment for breast cancer in my 30s. It was so odd to have phone conversations and a couple of visits in which they did not attack me with criticism, because they were drawing supply off the pity. They were drawing the pity supply. Don't get me wrong, the Munchausen mother and they would have loved for you to get sick sooner. Naturally, it's just not how they just need that pity supply. It was so strikingly odd that I told my sister that I was trying to enjoy the good side of mom and dad while it lasted. Oh, you mean like while you had cancer? So it took you having breast cancer for them to be nice to you, but it wasn't real, because all they were doing was drawing supply like a Munchausen, like a pair of Munchausen parents. Sociopaths. I really have to start talking more about linking the sociopath to the narcissist, because they are one and the same. And I think when we boil this down to brass tacks, the brass tacks isn't down to narcissist, it's down to sociopath. My explanation at the time was that they were so worried about me surviving that they were able to put their negativity aside. Yeah, no. They just wanted to look like the wonderful doting parents for the supply and adulation. Now, with my new understanding of narcissistic personality disorder, I have a very different take on what actually happened. I now believe that their ability to treat me decently when I had cancer was Munchausen by serendipity. In other words, my illness served to quench my happiness and accomplishments such that they did not have to. They felt comfortable around the incapacitated and unhappy version of me so that they could let their negative guard down. No. They did it for the supply. That's all. That's how simplistic it is. They did it for them. They did it for their pity. They did it to look good in front of the hospital staff. They did it to look good in front of their friends. They did it for the sympathy of my poor 30-year-old daughter has breast cancer. No. That's why they did it. They did it for the supply. the pity supply. The same supply that you're identifying as the Munchausen that the Munchausen mother wants. The pity. Pity and attention. It wasn't the illness. See, the sad thing is, what should show you, it took me having cancer for you to even be nice to me. And you're not realizing, you're asking, why are they being nice to me? Why are they being nice to me? Oh, because it's easier now because I have cancer and they could let their guard down. Fuck their guard. Their guard wasn't the issue. They saw an opportunity to suck up supply. That's all they did. That's all it was. Don't assign them, don't give them credit they don't deserve. In other words, my illness served to quench my happiness and accomplishments that they did not have to. They felt comfortable around the incapacitated and unhappy version of me, and so they let their negative guard down. Again, like I said, I have to keep rereading that. No. They didn't let their negative guard down. They played phony. They played for the supply. Period. Whenever I have been happy, healthy, and successful, they have shit on me because there's no supply to gain from that for them. This is consistent with them because what your mother is looking for is pity. There's no pity in your success. Understand that. The narcissist gains no pity in your success. And pity supply is what your parents were after. This is consistent with them ruining all holidays, ceremonies, graduations, and other important happy events in my life. Like all people with malignant narcissism, their pathological envy prevents them from tolerating happy and successful people, even their own children, because they thrive on misery. They thrive on misery and pity supply. People who are down and out, on the other hand, are no threat to them, and they can have a nice conversation with them about the pleasant weather, etc. As I became well, they ramped back up to the same level of negativity. Yeah, because you weren't going to die. It's a hard thing to realize that your parents wanted you dead. You think they wanted you to recover? They wanted you to die of that cancer, so they could sit there at the funeral and take all the supply, just like the Munchausen mother. That's the pinnacle of their supply. Our relationship went right back to me being their emotional punching bag. Every conversation peppered with digs about the weather being shitty. I have talked in other letters about my former narcissistic friends, Natasha and Maureen. Interestingly, both of these women became close, confiding friends with me only after I was diagnosed with cancer, and interestingly, they did not seem to form close relationships with other women in their lives. Although once upon a time I may have considered that I was able to break through... Although once upon a time I may have considered that I was able to break the ice with them because I am so nice, so likable, whatever it was, actually Munchausen by serendipity. My medical condition made it very easy for them to relax in my presence and confide in me because as a cancer patient, I was absolutely no competition with them, respect to beauty, career, health, longevity, or happiness. Again, they also might have been hoping that you were going to not survive, And whatever they told you would die with you anyway. I have observed that my sister plays the victim card in her relationship with our parents when there is opportunity. I believe she has subconsciously evolved this tactic as a defense mechanism. For example, she recently went to the hospital for a panic attack, and even though the doctor quickly concluded that it was not cardiac related and that she was fine, she called our elderly parents to worry them and have them drive all the way to the hospital. Bullshit. Not that that didn't happen. Look, they're enabling each other's bullshit now, okay? Where they're all looking for pity supply off each other. So they're going to play into and enable each other's bullshit. So everybody gets a pity party. It would have been much kinder and considerate of her to simply not call and worry them. They wanted to be called and worried. They want it. Nothing would make them happier than to be able to bury one of their own children. Trust me. My take on this is that she still craves the parental love she did not get as a child, and that motivates her to play the victim card. At the very least, it serves to give her a short break from their abusiveness. My parents automatically look down on people they do not know very well because they always initially assume they are superior to others. They instinctively look for flaws in others and initially assume others are less wealthy, less smart, and less important. I believe the superior attitude allows narcissists to sometimes display more kindness or generosity to a total stranger than to their own children or to relatives or friends because they do not feel threatened by the inferior stranger. You can't make this shit up. Treasure Travel. Do you know why they act the way they do? You know why they need the pity party? Through death of a child, sickness. Because they're so narcissistic. They think it's the only way anybody can empathize with them ever. Because they think they're superior to everybody. And they think they're better than everybody. So, and they know that. And they know how they treat people. So the only way to get pity and supply off people like when you act like this is the death of a child, the sickness of a child. It's always for the supply. It's always for the pity supply. Period. There was no other really ulterior motive where you had cancer and it was able to let They were nice to you because you had cancer. Because you had cancer was giving them pity supply. Pity supply they can't get because they think they're better than everybody else. They think they have everything. The only thing they don't have is pity. And how does the sociopath get pity? Oh, well, let me poison my child. Let me hope for the death of a child so everybody can gather around and pity me. Pity me as I think I'm better than you, richer than you, more wealthier than you, and smarter than you. It's the sick mind of the sociopath. Think about that. So, really, I mean, this is just about boiling it down for me. Like, for me, it's boiling it down to just plain sociopathy. Because Munchausen is a part of it. It's part of being a sociopath. It's one of the things that being a sociopath will do. A pretty extreme sociopath. Now, your parents may not have been at the point of poisoning, but they saw your sickness as an opportunity for pity supply. And that's all it was. So, hope that helps. Thanks again for another contribution and story, Treasure Travel. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email link in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.